Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is just a bit different because I was in the crafting and creating mood because Mother's Day is coming up this upcoming weekend, and there were people that I really wanted to make just a little something for, people that I just want to show that I appreciate them and let them know that I'm thinking of them on Mother's Day, whether it be the cashier that I always go through at Walmart, whose name is Sandy, or my neighbor across the street. And sometimes you can just make all the difference in the world by letting them know that you're thinking of them and just giving them a little something that makes them smile. And so today that was something that I wanted to do. I wasn't much in the mood for editing videos today. I'm not gonna lie, I've been feeling a bit melancholy over the last week and a half to 2 weeks because I'm really missing my mom and my sister right now, and it could be just because it's Mother's Day and my nieces and nephew are going to have their first Mother's Day without my sister, and yeah, and I just wish my mom was here, and so I miss them both dearly. And so usually when I feel like that, I really immerse myself into creating and crafting because maybe it's a distraction, or I don't know, it just helps. And so I think also thinking of others helps to just kind of ease a little bit of that feeling that I'm feeling. And so today I thought I'd bring you along with me while I craft and while I do these DIYs that I'm doing for Mother's Day for some of those special people. I will tell you that the DIYs that I'm making for Mother's Day today are the candles that I made a couple of weeks ago, but I switched it up a bit and I kind of changed the recipe for how I scented these candles because I had this idea of how I wanted to scent them and I wanted to see if it would work, and it did. And so I'm really excited about how these turned out, and I'm just making individual candles today because it is very inexpensive, it's budget friendly, it's something cute and thoughtful, and it's something that I think that people will appreciate and enjoy at the same time. So that'll be the DIY that I'm doing today. And I also this year wanted to make homemade cards because I've got my Cricut maker that I got for Christmas, and so many of you have been asking me to do more Cricut DIYs. I wanted to show you how useful your Cricut maker could be in times of making just a simple card. If you are a subscriber to Cricut Design Space, that is something that I spend $9.99 a month on, and it gives me unlimited access to projects, fonts, images, you name it, I get it for $9.99 a month. And so it's something that I utilize quite often, and I just wanted to show you how great it is and some of the projects that you can get. If you don't want to subscribe to Cricut Design Space monthly, you can purchase these projects individually. And so the card that I'm making today for Mother's Day is a 99-cent card. You buy it once and you get unlimited access to as many cards as you'd like to make with it. And so this particular card I liked a lot, and just to keep it simple, I decided to make 5 of them because I was gifting out 5 individual gifts this year. And so let me stop my gabbing, let's jump into it, and let me just show you some of the crafting that I do on a daily basis when I'm just not doing YouTube and I'm doing stuff for people in my life for holidays. Let's get to it. For these candles, I decided to go with buying a 12-pack of the Kerr mason jars that you can get at Walmart because they're $7.87 for 12 of them, and so that is way less than $1 a piece buying them individually. I really like these Kerr mason jars because one side has the imprinted Kerr and the other side is flat, so if you wanted to label your candles with the scent, you could do that as well. I'll also be using the ring on the top as well and just discarding the top. Walmart had a really nice selection in colors when it came to these jarred candles versus what they have at the Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree just has the basic yellow, green, I think, and white. Walmart had to have had at least 20 different colors. And so I really liked that, although I did pay $1.42 for them at Walmart versus the dollar at the Dollar Tree. They were 42 cents more. Now to scent these candles, I will be using the scented wax melts. Walmart's Mainstays wax melt, 93 cents for the 6 cubes. Because they are a bit smaller, I picked up 2 packs for each color. In Better Homes and Gardens, the cubes are a bit bigger. They're $2 a pack, so I just picked up the 1 pack
for the 2 candles in each color. This time to melt the candles, I decided to put them in the oven. A subscriber had given me this tip in my last video. I decided to try it, stuck all 8 of them in the oven at 200 degrees, and they melted so evenly and so perfectly. Love this method, much more easier than the double broiling method. Once the candles melted down just a bit and there was a bit more room in the jar from the wax going down, that's when I added the wax melts. When using the Mainstays wax melts, I added 6 cubes per jar because the cubes are smaller. If you're using the Better Homes and Gardens wax melts, they are a bit bigger, so I used 3 cubes per jar. For the wicks this time, I went a bit of a different route. I picked up this kit off of Amazon. It came with 100 8-inch wicks, 100 stickers for the wicks to put them in the jar, and why I really ordered it was for this wick holder. I just thought that this was such a cool contraption. I thought it would make making candles a lot easier than using a toothpick. Look at how simple it is with this. It makes life so much easier. I picked up this kit for $6.97, which I think is a great buy, and I also picked up a 6-inch kit that was like $5.97. Another amazing tip that was given to me by one of you amazing subscribers in the comment section of that last candle video was to hot glue the wick to the bottom of my jar. Genius idea, makes life so much easier. Love this. I hot glued it, and because my hand wouldn't fit in the jar, I used a piece of dowel, not dowlings, and I just pressed it down in there so it was good and stuck to the jar. Once the wax from my candles was good and melted, I did take a wood skewer and stir the wax just a bit, just to make sure that the wax melts, the scent, was good and incorporated into the candle. Each jar took 1.5 jars of wax. And another quick tip, if you happen to get some wax on the rim of the jar on the outside or inside, a place where you don't really want the wax because you want that part to be clean, take your paper towel immediately and wipe it off, or stick it back in the oven and it'll melt down into the wax that's already in the jar. With the 8 colored candles that I picked up from Walmart for $1.42 a piece, I was able to make 5 full mason jar candles with no wax left over. It took my candles about 4 hours to completely solidify. Now that they're solidified and cooled down, I'm going to trim off the wick. I'm going to replace the ring at the top because I really like the look of this. And using some of Dollar Tree's twine, I'm going to wrap the ring with twine just because I love the rustic feel that it gives to it. I'm also going to add a coordinating paper flower to the ring as well. These paper flowers you can get at Michael's. They come in a 6-pack for $2 in their dollar bins. I'm going to hot glue it to the twine on the front of the jar where it says Kerr, just because I feel like that's going to add more character to it. And why wouldn't you want to show that you're using a Kerr mason jar? They're fun, they're cute, they're rustic, they're farmhouse. Love them. And because I had a bit of wax left over for each color, I was able to make another candle using the leftover wax. Now, if you end up with a sinkhole in your wax, which is an indentation, it's very easily remedied by either taking your heating tool or a blow dryer and just heating up that top part of your candle and melting it until that sinkhole fills up. You may have to do it 2 times to get that perfect top to your candle, but it works, and I had to do it with these candles to get a flawless candle on top. It really only took me a total of maybe 3 hours to make these candles. This card using the Cricut is going to take you maybe 30 minutes to make. When you're in Cricut Design Space, you're going to want to start a new project, so you're going to click on this plus sign here. Now on the side here, you're gonna click Projects. These are projects that Cricut Design Space already has made up that either come with your subscription or you can purchase individually. Once you purchase one, it is at your disposal to use. You basically own it and you can use it as many times as you want. Now you'll just want to go up here to the top where it says search for project, and I'm going to type in Mother's Day card. You can search for any card you like and it's going to bring it up. Today I'll be doing 5 of this card here. Just go ahead and click on the project and it'll pull it right up. You'll see at the bottom here that there will either be zeros for no charge, it'll either say subscribed, or it'll give you a price for cards, say 99 cents, and that's what you would pay to buy the projects individually. Once you've purchased your card, or if it's come with your subscription, you then have the capability of customizing your card, which means you could change the font on it if you'd like. If you don't want to customize it, just click Make It and it'll pull it right up. Now, because I'm making 5 cards, up here at the top, it allows you to select how many you want to make. You want to be sure and click the green Apply. It then sets it up on each mat for 5 projects instead of the one, using the most out of your paper so there's very little waste. It also sets it up for you according to the color of cardstock that you're going to need for each cut. This too can be customized if you don't like the colors. It really is just showing you how the project was done exactly on Cricut Design Space. All that's really left to do is click Continue and start cutting. I did all my cutting yesterday. Because I did 5 cards, I separated them into Ziploc baggies so I wouldn't confuse any of the parts that go to each card. Putting this card together is going to take maybe 10 minutes. I know it looks like there's a lot of pieces. It really isn't all that bad, and the outcome is going to be so stinking cute. We're going to start off with these 3 pieces, the card itself that we actually cut as well, and these 2 front pieces. To assemble the card, you are going to need a spray adhesive. I'm using this spray adhesive by Scotch. This is one that I got at Michael's. I used 50% off coupon and paid $1.50 for it. When I'm putting together cards, I like to use wax paper with the wax side facing up so my pieces don't stick to the wax paper. If you use paper towel, you're gonna find that your pieces stick to the paper towel and then you have adhesive on the front of your pieces. You're gonna wanna place your pieces face down so you can spray the adhesive on the back side of them. I got a little heavy and was too close to my paper with the adhesive, and so that left some wet marks on here. You wanna try and spray a bit farther away, but luckily this is gonna dry and you won't see it. Now I'm gonna take and flip this piece over and I'm gonna spray some adhesive on the back side of this. Then go ahead and place this on top of the card itself. I like to use a paper towel with projects like this that have adhesive that I can easily set over the project and I can press everything down, because you know that when you're working with adhesive and you get it on your fingers, you get that gummy black residue on your fingers, and then when you go to press down your project or the pieces that you're applying, that kind of rubs off on your project. And so if you use a paper towel, you don't have to worry about that. And now all that's left to do is apply the wording and the flowers. And again, you really just want to make sure and set your pieces face down because you want the adhesive on the back. And so sometimes it can be a bit confusing, and by instinct, you just want to place things face up in the order that you really see them in. But in these instances, you kind of want to take your time and just make sure that you're placing them face down so the adhesive is on the right side of the letter. I've got my pieces all laid out. Now I'm just gonna lightly apply the spray adhesive. I'm gonna hold it a bit of a ways away so we don't get the clumps. There is not a lot that is needed for these pieces. Now let's wrap this card up and apply all these pieces to the front of it, and we are done. I found that using tweezers with little pieces like this really come in handy because that way you can hold on to it well. It's not sticking to your fingers, you're not getting the gum on there, and you can really place it and see where you want to place it a lot easier than trying to use your fingers and your nails. You can't have a card without an envelope. This was one of the cuts that was made in Cricut Design Space with the project. All you need to do is fold in where the scoring lines are. Very easy, there's only 4 folds. I'm gonna use a glue stick. If you have an adhesive tape glider, you can use that. You could even use just a bit of Aleene's tacky glue, not a lot. And I'm just gonna apply it to this bottom flap here, right along the edges, then just fold it over and we're done. It doesn't get any easier than that. And would you look at how stinking cute this turned out? So easy, budget friendly, and for those of us who do have a Cricut, we probably already have a good stash of cardstock on hand. To close this envelope, if you want to put just a dab of glue right there in the center to close it up, easy way to do it. If I'm being completely honest, I love the look and feel of a handcrafted card. Putting the projects together side by side, you can definitely see how similar they are, and looking at this picture now, I am seeing that I forgot the beads in the center of the flowers, so I'm definitely gonna have to go back and fix those. Thank goodness I did not seal the envelopes. Easy to do, easy to customize, and like I always say, change it up and make it your own. That's what DIYing really is all about.
How stinking cute are these candles? To make them individually, it is just so budget friendly. You can put your own touch on it, make it your own. And the best thing is that they're handmade, they're made from the heart, and it's something that you made specifically for somebody. And I think that's what people appreciate most when it comes to making a handmade gift for someone. And the cards are amazing on the Cricut. I love making homemade cards. I think that it just is so much better than buying a card because it's definitely something that you put your own touch on and you made it specifically for somebody. I hope you all enjoyed today's DIYing with me, even though it was very similar to a DIY that I did a couple of weeks ago. I hope you liked the changes that I made in the candles using those scented wax blocks. Walmart has those blocks, like I said, for 93 cents for 6 of them, and it scented them amazingly just buying one. And so I think I definitely like that route better than the essential oils because they were way more fragrant. Please give this video a thumbs up and let's get this video to 5,000 likes. And I think that all of those thumbs up should go out to each and every mom this Mother's Day just for the selfless job that they do with their kids every day. Until next time, everybody, I hope you have a fantastic day. Happy everything on a budget. Happy Mother's Day this weekend, and bye for now.